Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and we are talking massive impact today. We have not one, not two, not three. We have 4 students going off to college today, and these are 4 very special people. I know them all very well. I've known them for years and years. And we talk about going back to school, whether it be high school. We just had an episode with some of our kids, our quarantiners who just wrote that book. Last week we had, and now we're talking about college is in session. So you got to meet my friends today. We got Brenna Pangelinan. What's up, Brenna?
Hello.
We got Mike McGibney in the house. Mike, what's happening?
What's up, Coach?
Kira Corasanti is in the house back in upstate New York.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Kira. And Grant Norberg, welcome to the show, Grant.
How's it going, Coach?
So, guys, real quick, you guys are off to college, and I want to talk about the experience about college because we are in a crazy time of the universe with pandemic. You guys, many of you missed out on your official graduations. Even though you officially graduated, you didn't have your typical senior year, the last part of the spring. But I want to hear about this first. First off, Brenna, if you can start off, where you're from and what college you'll be going to this fall.
Yeah, so my name is Brenna Pangelinan. I will be attending Brown University this spring, and I'm from San Diego, California.
Yep. And when you say this spring, will you be virtual at Brown this fall, or you technically officially start in the spring?
I technically start in the spring. Right now I have a 5-month period just waiting.
Okay, so you're going to Brown University. Mike McGibney, you're up next. Where are you from? Where are you going to school?
I'm from San Diego, California, Scripps Ranch. Going to school, Miami University. Yeah.
And Mike, obviously, you're the first of our 2 tight ends focused on today's show. But obviously, as a student, did you grow up dreaming to go to the University of Miami at Ohio, or is that how did that all come about?
So it's a pretty long story, but just through the recruiting process, I ended up connecting with some of the coaches and met Coach Welsh. I got to see the campus last week for the first time. Beautiful.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Are you doing this call from San Diego or from the University of Miami at Ohio?
No, I'm in Columbus, Ohio right now, which is about 2 hours north of Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm living in a family's basement. One of my teammates kindly reached out and told me I could stay with him until we finally get to move in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. And Grant Norberg's in the house as well. Grant, where you're from, where you're at right now as we do this podcast.
I'm from San Diego, California, and right now I am in San Diego, but I will be attending UCLA. I've been there since June 22nd, just working out in the dorms. But we're now on a 2-week break right now, so I'm home.
Okay. So Grant is home, but he's already started at UCLA, correct?
Correct.
You're back and forth on that, playing on the football team as well. He was the 2-part tight end, the tandem of Grant and Mikey McGibney on that. So he's at UCLA. And then Kira Corasanti, you are in upstate New York. And where are you going off to here in just a couple of days?
I'll be going to the University of Vermont. Yep.
The University of Vermont. It just sounds so beautiful. What a great school Vermont is. Congratulations.
Thank you. Super
Congrats. So I want to hear something, and I'm going to start with you, Brenna. High school. You guys all got into great schools. What's the secret sauce that allowed you to get into such a great school as like Brown? Was there anything that separated you? Obviously, you have all 4. You have great grades. What was it that allowed you to get into a school like Brown?
I think throughout high school, maybe halfway through my high school experience, I just decided to go for things that interested me. I think a lot of times students can, you worry so much about, what's that package that a school is looking for? What have my older siblings said you need to do? I think a lot of times you can get caught up in what everyone is telling you need to do. And I think what really set me apart is that I started to pursue things that I was passionate about. And I think that shone through when I was doing my application.
Yep. And last year, you had a very special appointment out here in the state of California. Can you talk about that? Because you were the only student in the state of California that was chosen for a particular position that is extremely rare. Talk about that. What did you receive and what did you do?
Yeah, so this past year, I served on the California State Board of Education as the student board member, and it's a pretty unique position. You actually have a vote on the highest policymaking board in California public education. So it was an amazing experience. I learned a ton, and I'm really grateful that I was able to experience it this
So
last
you were up
year.
in Sacramento making decisions, like
Yeah,
with all
traveling.
the politicians. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I've known Brenna now since like she's been a little girl. Now she's all grown up. She's going to Brown. And when she told me she was going to Sacramento, I was like, are you running for governor out here yet or what? Because as she goes on to Brown, are you interested in politics or what are you going to study at Brown?
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I chose Brown. I love their open curriculum. It really allows you to explore. I applied as a data science major, but I'm also considering maybe education studies because I have experience in that field. But I really do want to keep an open mind.
Okay. Well, you've done a great job. So the secret sauce, she says, is find your passion, discover your passion, and follow that, right? I'm going to hop over to Mike McGibney now. Mike, secret sauce in high school that's allowed you to go to a school like the University of Miami at Ohio. What's allowed you to set yourself up for some great choices and decisions along the way?
Yeah, so for me, I focused a lot of my time in high school on sports and school itself, but then also outside of school, a lot of volunteering and just getting involved in my community and just providing opportunities for myself to give great like things to write about in my college applications.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that you did, Mike, that is public knowledge, that Mike transformed his own body and life between, I guess I'll say, the sophomore and junior year, where you committed yourself to the weight room, transformed your body, and had an excellent athletic career both in football and baseball, had opportunities to play sports. And while it's interesting, because while Miami may not have been your dream school, what a great school it is that you now are at and what great opportunities that you have. Because I believe this, I think all student athletes, all students that have a dream to whatever their activity or not even sports, is you end up at the school you're supposed to end up. And sometimes when you're going to that school, you don't even know, how did I end up here? But you're soon going to realize, man, Miami is a great school, or Vermont, what an unbelievable place. I never envisioned myself, because we all have that pipeline, like that dream school, and sometimes we get in, sometimes we don't, but we end up where we're supposed to end up. And Mike, I know that it took a massive effort on your end. I know you were showing up even at Fitness Quest 10 at 5 in the morning with that 5 a.m. crew. And in the last year and a half, you've done an incredible job, both academically as well as athletically. So congrats on that. So folks, as you're listening in, Kira, how about yourself? By the way, congratulations. She gave the senior speech, Kira Corasanti did, for her entire graduating class, which was voted upon by her fellow seniors. How about you? What would you say is the secret sauce that allowed you to end up at a school like Vermont?
I think a lot of it is just putting the best version of yourself out there. Kind of like Brenna was saying, find what you're passionate about. Usually that shines through pretty well in applications. You just put the best version of you. And honestly, it's kind of like a crapshoot that you don't know if they're going to pick you or if they're not. Like, I didn't get into my top choice, so it's kind of a turnaround to go to UVM, but it all ended up fine. So,
what was your top choice?
Dartmouth, actually. Yeah.
Okay. How is your mindset now? You didn't get in Dartmouth. Mm-hmm. You're now going to University of Vermont. How's the mindset?
Honestly, way better than it was. I don't think I would have liked Dartmouth as much. Learning more about University of Vermont and doing a complete switch around in my mental path, I think has really helped me. I'm super excited to find out what's in Vermont, and can't wait.
It's where you're supposed to end up, which is awesome. And what a great school the University of Vermont is as well. Grant, how about yourself? Obviously, now you're up at UCLA. You're going to be playing football up there. You're already in school. What was the secret sauce in high school that's allowed you to have some options as you made a decision to ultimately end up as a student and an athlete at UCLA?
I'd say the secret sauce for me was probably having the coaches and the teachers that I had all the way up to mold and shape me to who I am today. For example, my baseball coach, who I've been with since I was about 6 years old, Coach Butch Smith, he really had a big impact on my life, and he kind of shaped me and molded me to who I am today, made me determined, hardworking, and ultimately, also, I'd like to say probably the multi-sport aspect about me, because I'm a big basketball player too, and that's kind of what UCLA saw in me. They were always asking me to send them my basketball highlights, and so I'd send them over right after the game was over. Just send them over, and then they always love to see that. But on an academic point as well, they were big on academics too. So if you didn't have the grades, then you obviously couldn't get in. So that's kind of what the secret sauce was for me.
Okay. Do you have any desire to be a two-sport athlete at UCLA playing basketball and football?
Probably not. Since I've been up there, since the middle of June, it's been really, really demanding about how much you need to put in the work for one sport, and I can't even imagine how much two sports would be.
Yeah. So tell me this. Y'all are in a very unique position here with COVID-19. Some people are going to school. Some of you are at school. Some people are at school already coming home from school. And that's why I want to have you four on, because y'all four very bright students. Are you excited for college? What's your mindset, Brenna? Are you like ready to get out of the house and get over to Brown, or are you like content with doing the virtual school? Where's your mindset at, Brenna?
I'm definitely excited to go. Just because I do have so much time, I definitely had to reevaluate and be okay with, being here for another 5 months. But I'm still so excited when the time comes. You
got your mind right. You're going to hang tight for a few more months,
yeah.
And then come winter time, you'll be ready for Providence, Rhode Island, in that change of weather from San Diego. Fantastic.
Yes.
Good.
It'll be cold when I go.
It'll be chilly. We'll have to get you a jacket. We'll get you a jacket in the winter. You're not used to that, I know. Kira, how about you? You leave just in a few days for the University of Vermont. What's the mindset like as you get ready to go? It's live, I'm assuming, or is it you're going there and you're going to be virtual?
Some of my classes are mixed. Like some of the lab classes I'm taking are in person, and then others are just completely remote. So I'll just be in my dorm. I'm excited. Honestly, with everything going on, haven't really thought about it much until this week when my mom's like, you need to pack. But yeah, it's definitely going to be different for sure. I don't know what it's going to be like. It could be sent home in 2 weeks, could be there for the rest of the semester. So we'll see, but excited either way for the opportunities that await.
Absolutely. Just keep your focus on the now. What town is the University of Vermont in?
Burlington, Vermont.
Burlington.
Yep.
How do you pronounce the capital of Vermont?
What is the capital of Vermont?
I believe it's Montpelier, is it not?
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at that. Going back to high school geography. My father always told me, Todd, you need to know geography. So you better learn your Vermont geography.
I better.
I believe that is correct. I believe that's correct. Hey, Mike, how about yourself? Excited for this fall?
Yeah, I'm really excited. So this is my second week of virtual learning, and I pretty much came out here with all my stuff ready to move in. I moved in. I ended up moving into the basement of another teammate's house, and it's been a great time meeting all his friends. So it's kind of like a college experience without being on campus.
Mm-hmm. And football for you is there a season at the University of Miami, Ohio, or is it delayed to the spring or canceled?
Yeah, we're delayed right now, so that's why they're not in a big rush to get us in. But yeah.
Okay, good. And Grant, you already expressed you're excited, but you're back and forth between Brentwood and San Diego right now as you guys await what's going to happen as well.
So for me, we're still on the field with the strength staff 5 times a week, and they're spreading us out 10 per group. We haven't had any positive tests in a few weeks now, so they deem that a safe environment for us to be in. So we're going to keep continuing to do that for at least the time being, but we are delayed until hopefully the spring.
Okay. So let's hypothetical situation. We're 18, 19 years old. We're at college, and there's a party going on. There's a party. Now this is Coach Todd talking, so let's just have a little fun. There's a party going on in Brentwood, or is it Oxford?
Oxford, yeah.
Oxford, Ohio, right? Or Providence or Burlington. And you're like, man, I don't know, should I go to this party or not? Like, what's the mindset right now with everything going on, COVID-19? There's obviously, you got to wear masks, there's all these different precautions. But let me tell you, I know it's tough, when you're 17, 18, 19, social distancing. What's the mindset right now? I'll start with you, Brenna. You're home right now, but How the heck do you deal with the socialization? You want to be with friends. You want to be with your teammates, your pals, your classmates. What's the mindset right now with everything going on? Is there fear, or is it like, you know what? No, it's not fearful. I just got to, I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to be safe. What's the mindset, Brenna?
I think it's different for everybody. Personally, when you go, it's important to understand that there's so many more years as well. I think right now it's really easy to feel like this is your only opportunity to meet people. This is the only chance you have to go to a party, but that is not the case. There's so much going on right now, and you can be smart about it. You can have your group of, couple friends who you you're with, and you know that they're staying away from other people. There's safe ways to still be social, but huge parties, even though it's not exactly how maybe we thought we would go to school, it's not ideal for some people who were looking forward to that, but that's the reality, and we have more years to experience that.
Very wise and responsible right there, Brenna. So how do you pass your time, Brenna? I mean, you've got 4 or 5 months before you leave. You're not technically in school. You thought you were going away. You just got word a couple weeks ago. So what's the mindset of how you approach the next 4 months?
Yeah, I am really trying to have a clean slate going into college. I want to get there and be a sponge, just ready to, take in a bunch of information, take advantage of all the opportunities. And I understand that this is probably one of the last times I'm going to have nothing to do. And instead of filling it, I'm really trying hard to enjoy it, which is hard for me because I'm always going. But I understand that I need to reset. And I think that if I take this time to really reevaluate and do some things I wasn't doing before, then I'll be in a really good place when I go to college.
Good for you. That's a great mindset right there. How about you, Grant? As far as mindset, as far as, with everything going on, you have responsibilities to your teammates, to your classmates, as far as being responsible. How the heck you deal with all this now?
Yeah, that is a good point. At least for me and Mikey, with the student athlete perspective, like we have to be more responsible because we do have a duty for our teammates and our coaches. So we can't go out to a big party and then come back to a workout and then spread it to the whole team. That would just ruin the whole aspect of us being there. But like, I do feel like what Brenna said, there is like a middle ground that you can find, have your small group of people that you're with, and be safe with that.
Mm-hmm. And how often is UCLA football testing you guys right now?
We're getting tested every 2 weeks.
So once every 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Mikey, how about you as far as how you deal with all this? I know right now you're up in Columbus, but when you get back down to Oxford and you're around your teammates, what's the mindset of how you go to school, participate in football, and still be smart because you want to get some socializing in too?
Definitely going to focus on keeping to myself, wearing a mask, social distancing, all that stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a little difficult not to meet the like football players that aren't in my group that I work out with and eat with. It'll be interesting, yeah. But up here, it's not too bad.
Yeah. And Kieran, how about you? Because right now you're going away to college, and you probably. I remember the feeling of going away to college, like freedom. Yes, we're going to college. You go here in just a few days, and you get to the University of Vermont. What's your mindset? Is it, hey, you're going there and man, the party's on, or hey, I'm there, but I'm kind of like, I'm in my room and I got to go virtual, and we're gonna have 6 feet apart in the classrooms. What's your mindset, Kira?
I mean, I don't think I'll be attending big parties. I just think the goal for us is to care for the people around us and be responsible for ourselves, and also the community. Like, I'm going to Burlington, and all those people in that community, like 10,000 students, are just going to flood their community. And I just feel like it's my responsibility to be safe. A good thing about being up in Vermont is that I'm excited to, like, instead of maybe going out on weekends, go on hikes or go camping, just be outdoors in small groups. I know a lot of what the university is doing to mitigate, I think, large gatherings is putting together small hikes. Like, even I know for like our first like welcome week, they're doing a lot of stuff like that, like a lot of like social distancing yoga or like things outside that I think would be really beneficial.
That's awesome. I love that, Kira. And Brenna, as you mentioned, I think we all have to remember, all of us listening in right now, this too soon shall pass. Right, this too soon shall pass. It's hard to remember that because when you're in the thick of it, you're like, man, when's it going to be over? Is there going to be a season this year? Are we going to be back live in the classroom this year? High school students are dealing with this, just like you all who just finished high school, now going to college. Adults are dealing with this. Is like all the uncertainty is we must keep reminding ourselves this too soon shall pass. My last question, and we'll kind of go in reverse order here. So I'll start with Grant. When I talk about mindset going into school, if there's some advice you can give to any other students, maybe they're in high school, maybe it's your former teammates, former classmates, how the heck do you get through all this? And if you can impart some wisdom right now, like your mindset, Grant, of like, where are you at mentally of like, here's what I'm doing, here's what we got to do, rally around the campfire. What is it, Grant? Fire us up for a minute.
At least for my mindset going into all this is you got to have an open mind. This is obviously not the ideal college experience that we all thought we'd be going into, but you just, like my dad always told me right when I moved up there, you got to control what you can control, because if you do that, then you will not be focusing on what you can't control, and then you'll just have a much better time with what you're doing. Control
the controllables. I love it. It's always good wisdom. Sounds like a little John Wooden right there, by the way, the Wizard of Westwood, speaking as Pops Norberg right there. Let's go back to Kira. Kira, how about yourself as far as any words of wisdom for our listeners today?
I think take things as they come.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to force things too much or resist, obviously the harder things will be. So kind of like take it one step at a time. Yeah.
Love it. Mikey?
Yeah, definitely being open-minded is a big thing. I mean, my move-in date got postponed 3 times. Having to say goodbye to family and friends 3 times was a little weird. Like, hey, I'm back. Great to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've just been focusing. I just joined a new gym with the person I'm living with, and there's a couple other collegiate athletes from Ohio State, Penn State that work out there as well, and we've just been grinding and getting after it in there.
You make sure you tell them you show them the FQ10 way now. You show them what it's all about over there. I love it. Yeah. And Brenna, how about yourself?
I think, like I said before, just maintain perspective and think always in the bigger picture. It's really easy right now to look at what's going on and become overwhelmed, but looking at the big picture, I think we can all just move forward in a more positive way.
Yeah. Well, I want to wish all 4 of you the best of luck this semester, whether it's virtual, whether you're partially on campus, you're virtual, you're live, whatever it may be. I want to wish you all the best of luck, and know that what got you here with your hard work, your sacrifice, your dedication to the books, is that you guys continue to know that with hard work, with perseverance, you're going to get through this, and that this too soon shall pass. But always, we got to have our mind right? You got to get your mind right. So Get your mind right on those things. And hey, if anyone wants to follow any of you on social media, Mike, you have any social media that someone could say, hey, Mike McGibney, that was a fantastic episode. Where are they tag Mike McGibney at?
Mikey McGibb is all of my usernames on every social media platform.
Okay. Grant, how about yourself?
For my Instagram and Twitter would be at Grant Norberg.
Okay. Brenna?
At Brenna Pange.
Okay. And Kira?
At Kira Corasanti 88.
At 88. Those 8s again. I love it. Like your mama. I love it. So there you have it, my friends. 4 incredible students all going off on their own unique journeys. I think we talk about life as a journey. And, everyone that has already been through college or of that age that's taken, forks in the road, these fork in the road moments. Sometimes life throws us curveballs. And we get thrown curveballs. It's how you deal with these curveballs. Sometimes it doesn't always go as you planned. As I believe it was Mikey or Grant mentioned about that. Sometimes it's not as you envisioned what that college experience might be like, but maybe it's that job experience, maybe it's that high school experience. But we must stay steadfast in our mindset. We must continue to work out. We got to have all the habits dialed in that will allow us to do our best stuff. And if you're a parent listening in, or if you're a kid listening in, I don't care if it's elementary, high school, college, on this is we got to control the controllables. Grant talked about that. Control the controllables, and all about perspective is absolutely right. Knowing that whatever we can do right now, we got to control the habits that we can make choices on. We show up at school, any kind of school, those choices of what we do Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday all do count. So Mike, Grant, Brenna, and Kira, thank you so much for being here today. Man, oh man, that was awesome. You know what I like to say about that right there? Our future is bright. Our future is bright with students like that. Brenna, Mikey, Kira, and Grant all knocked out of the park. But you know what? I talk about the future is bright because I know there are hundreds. Heck, there's thousands of students either going to college or going back to college that are committed to getting their education. It doesn't matter if it's virtual, if it's live, if it's a hybrid, it's combined. It doesn't matter. It's all about overcoming the obstacles, whatever it takes. We call it WIT, whatever it takes, overcoming that challenge. So if you are a student and you are going back to school, it doesn't matter, elementary, high school, college, university, if you're going back, is to remember the lessons that these four students shared today, whether you're in the band, whether you're in sports, whether you're in theater, whatever your activities are, the bottom line is that you get your education and that you continue to be smart. I love control the controllables and all about perspective, taking things to stay in the here and the now. My friends, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that episode. The last 2 Thursdays, we've had the quarantine, and now this week, the college kids going back because school is going back. And for that, I am so excited. Remember, please, to train hard, to eat right, to live inspired. And wherever you are, whatever campus you're going to, whatever campus you've been on, remember to always create impact.